Good evening on this very hot and steamy day here. I'm sitting on the front porch and I'm just enjoying my time here on the front porch, just listening to the birds, listening to nature, some hawks flying over, crows, and red birds, blue jays, my pet rooster Popo, as I call him, out in the lot, just right down below our porch. I've got another exciting book that I've read, and I read it, and actually, a news anchor had actually shared this quite some time ago on her Facebook post, this book, and then after she shared it, I realized that I wanted to look at it too, and read it. And I just now got around to reading it. But here's the book cover, as you can see. And the title of the book is Entertaining Angels, True Stories and Art Inspired by Divine Encounters by Anne Neilson. Again, Entertaining Angels, True Stories and Art Inspired by Divine Encounters by Anne Neilson. Forward by Roma Downey. There's several in here. Stories. Well, I mean, all the stories kept me captivated in reading it. This just ain't talking about angels unaware. That angels that comes from above. It also talks about angels that's upon this earth that helps out each other. That's there for each other. It's got stories in here by, of course, Anne Neilson. It's got stories in here by Tracy Cornett. She's the news anchor I was telling you about. By Ron Hall, Jimmy Wayne, Cheryl Scruggs, Susan Brown, Jamie Heard, Amy Carlisle, Jacob Paul Bright. The Shepherd Knows Where to Find You by Sheila Walsh. That is a one story that I really, really loved. The Shepherd Knows Where to Find You. I remember my mom talking quite some time about how she had a stuttering problem, and how one of her teachers told her, said, think about what you're saying, take your time, think about what you're saying. And Mom started listening to what she said, and her stuttering got better. I stutter as well sometimes. But I remember what Mom said. She said that she was my guardian angel. She's my angel. I do believe that. And God places people here upon this earth to help out one another, and we're to help out one another. Matter of fact, Tracy Cornett in this book, and let me find it here. Shares in her book, and I will find it. I think it might have been Tracy. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm telling you right. Oh, here it is. Actually, Anne Neilson shares in her book, and that's a beautiful photo right there, sitting by the pool. But I love it. But she writes in here, I love the story of Jesus shares in Matthew 25:35-40. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you and thirsty and give you something to drink? When do we see you a stranger and invite you in, needing clothes to clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go and visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did to one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. So, when we're out there and we're doing the work of the Lord Jesus Christ, there's my rooster Popo crowing, but we're doing the work of the Lord Jesus Christ. We are his hands and his feet. We are his hands and his feet. And and so when we see, the ministry that the Lord's given me is going out to the nursing homes and visiting the nursing homes. I've got my nephew Isaac into that now and going with me. Well, we go into the nursing homes, and my friend Daniel, but we go into the nursing homes and we visit the veteran center, and we visit the nursing homes around here, and we have a blessed time. We go there to be a blessing to them, and they're a blessing to us. But we're the hands and feet of Jesus. So we're going in there, and they're God's children that we're going in there to, and we can read with them. Maybe play Uno with them, share maybe a devotion, or maybe read an article to them or something that they might enjoy. But anyway, awesome, very awesome book, very awesome book. Tracy Cornyn, Emmy Award-winning writer, host, and journalist who anchors the evening news at WSMV4 in Nashville. She writes the story From Beyond the Grave. Thought that was amazing. Just a lot of different things. A lot of different stories in here that just bless my heart. Like I said, I don't want to share none of the stories in here. I want to just tip and hit some of them. Because I'm not one to try and give you the book, I want you to go out and get the book. I want you to read the book. I want you to buy the book. You can buy it on wherever books are sold, in the bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Joseph Beth Books, and you can buy them probably on Amazon. But again, the title of this book is Anne Neilson, by Anne Neilson. She's the author, Anne Neilson. Entertaining Angels, True Stories in Art Inspired by Divine Encounters. Like I said, a fantastic book as I flipped through it. I invite you to go get this book and read it. And it will inspire you to pass on love. It will inspire you to pass on on love. Anne Neilson writes in a few places in here about how she helps out, when she feels upon her heart to give to somebody or to help out somebody, she does it. And that's what we need to do. When God tells us to help out somebody or go somewhere and to help out maybe a certain group of people, we need to do that. And I thought about that as I read through a lot of Anne Neilson's stories in here. I thought about that. Sometimes we need to just. And she wrote about one lady who was just having a bad day and just took it kind of out on her. Then she calls back and she apologizes, and that she told him she was just having a bad day, And I thought about that. How many times do people maybe have a bad day and they'll say something kind of harsh to us or something, we don't know what people was going through that morning. We don't know what people went through the evening before. It could be a coworker. It could be a neighbor or a friend. Maybe usually they're not a harsh tone, but maybe they're a harsh tone. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what has happened. Maybe a few minutes prior. Maybe they got some bad news, or maybe they were aggravated about something. So it got me to thinking about that. We need to take into consideration and be loving and kind. But anyway, like I said, just a lot of different stories. Sheila Lost, like I said, the shepherd knows where to find you by Sheila Lost. That's an awesome one in there. Look for people in your life that you can be an angel to here upon this earth. I never forget, many years ago, a number of years ago, I was working at the hospital. My mom was working as a registered nurse, and she worked like over on rehab. I worked on the same top floor as her, but in another wing. But one of them, I was a nurse aide, and she was a registered nurse. And I remember, as a patient that I took care of went to her floor, she found out that I was her son. She tells my mom, she says, "He's my guardian angel. He's my guardian angel." Said he kept me company through the night. He helped me get to sleep. And I would go through, and help out. I never forget this one little fella. He would come to every room in the hospital and visit. He was just a visitor there, and he'd come through every room in that hospital, and he'd visit, and he'd pray, and he'd talk to them. That was his routine every morning. Every morning. Sometimes he'd start about 6 o'clock in the morning, walking the halls. So let's look for ways that we can help out somebody that's in need. Let's look for ways that we can try and lend a helping hand. Not only that, but there's been angels in the skies in my life. There have been angels here upon this earth in my life too. Human angels, as I could say. As I went through Bethel Christian Academy, I was telling my nephew earlier, I was behind when I started Bethel Christian Academy, and I never will forget Betty Combs. And I think my phone's kind of slipping back here on the straight. I never will forget Betty Combs and Miss Crace. Miss Betty Combs and Miss Linda Crace. They worked with me one-on-one. They worked with me. Oftentimes I'd go over to Miss Crace would send me over to Miss Combs's room, and they would work with me one-on-one. And it's when it started to click in a couple of years after going to Bethel Christian Academy. Hey, they love me here. They love me. More importantly, they love Jesus. More importantly, they love Jesus, and I want to be just like them. I want to love Jesus. I want what they got, And finally, I found what they got. I found Jesus in my life, and I found salvation. But because of their hard work, and because of their determination to help me, I ended up excelling and graduating high school at Bethel Christian Academy. Went all the way through from 5th all the way up to 12th grade at Bethel Christian Academy. Not only that, but I went back and got my Associates of Arts degree later on in life, and then I got my Bachelor's degree later on in life. And, this is something that people said I would never do, all because I had a hearing problem. I also had trouble hearing. But they work with me one-on-one, and they have patience. And sometimes that's what it takes, is having patience. Just recently, Miss Linda Crace's husband, Vogie, passed away, and broke my heart because I didn't get to go, but I had gout in my feet and just didn't get to make it. But I just want to say, God bless you all, love you all, and I'm praying for y'all. But anyway, if you can get a hold of that book, I invite you to get a hold of that book by Anne Neilson. And if you are ever in the Letcher County area, you can actually get a card. And Hoopla, Letcher County has Hoopla. Hoopla's free, and that book is actually on Hoopla. Several libraries around here carries Hoopla. Floyd County Libraries carries Hoopla. You might say, well, I live maybe in Pruitt County. Well, it's worth the trip to go to Letcher or Floyd County. Just get the library card so you can have Hoopla as well. A lot of books at your fingertips. And also, Kentucky Unbound is another good resource. Kentucky Unbound is offered at, I think, about every library in the state of Kentucky. You just have to have a library card, and that's all. It's a library, Kentucky Unbound. Anyway, God bless you all. I hope this is, hope y'all will dig into that book and read that book. God bless.